Now and bring in Sbongakonke Mbatha, who's covering the story for us. She's actually at the university. Sbonga, what's the very latest there?
A very good morning to you, Blaine. Like you've just mentioned, from Monday, where we saw the hectic scenes where the protesting students were clashing with the police. And it was their form of retaliation against what they are terming as a crime-ridden off-campus residence that they find themselves living in. We do understand that out of the 17,000 students at the University of Zululand, 70% live on off-campus. And that is at the crux of their concern, safety and security in those particular residents, which many of them are owned by independent landlords. And upon engaging with the management throughout the week, they kept on saying that they haven't been able to actually reach a resolution or solve the issue of safety and security in those residents because these independent landlords were not coming into the party to be able to be assessed and reach the minimum standards of safety as per a university's accreditation. And on Tuesday, Blaine, we saw some more hectic scenes where the students continued to clash with the police, trying to express their plans. And they were adamant that they just want the Minister of Police, Bheki Cele, to come and tell them or give them a solution. They're saying that the most immediate thing that they request is an outsourcing of a security system that would try and make sure that they are safe in the meantime, while the police minister as well as the students come together and find a lasting solution to the issue of safety and security for off-campus residents, because that's where the majority of the problem is. And yesterday, the situation did calm down because you remember, Blaine, when the satellite police station was torched, not so far from where we are, 30 students were arrested in the process, and as we speak they are behind bars and they are expected to appear at the nearest magistrate court in Monday. So the student leadership yesterday did say that they have decided to dump down the protest because the university was also holding its own private talks within the institution in terms of trying to find a solution to the problem. So they were complaining that they can't really find a solution if the students continue to retaliate and cause violent scenes with the police outside campus. So they decided to dump down the protest, and they're saying they have dumped it down for now until their plight is met and until their demand to see the police minister has actually been realized. And to their advantage today, the police minister is expected to come and address the students. But firstly, he's expected to meet with university management and get to understand from his last visit to the university last year what has transpired and what has possibly halted some of the resolutions that were met last year and continued even to this year, to a point where the students are saying, but there were so many promises that were made last year and not much has changed. We continue to live with our one eye open. Female students carry tasers. Yesterday we spoke to one of them who wouldn't want to speak in front of camera. She said that she has been mugged twice and her belongings have been taken twice. It has gotten to a point where she needs to armor herself with a pepper spray and a taser. She even demonstrated to us how it's used. And of course, that is a matter of safety and she's trying to protect herself. But it does raise concerns that students who are coming to this university to study are now spending more time trying to think about ways to protect themselves while they study. They're saying that even this situation is affecting their academic progress because they are constantly living in fear. They're constantly worried about these alleged criminals called the Matabuga, who are reportedly historical around the area. So they are worried that why haven't the police done something about these criminals. And 2 days ago, Blaine, when they were protesting from inside the campus, it is alleged that they broke into a bookshop of the university and stole some equipment. And yesterday, even though it's not confirmed as yet, we did receive pictures and information that the police arrested 5 of them and managed to recover all the stolen equipment from the bookshop. We will be confirming further details with regards to that matter once the police minister is here. It is reported that he has arrived, but he just has not arrived at the university as yet. He's still being in talks with the university management, trying to gauge what has happened throughout the week and what has halted some of the resolutions that were met last year in order to solve this security problem.
Let's just talk about what has happened over the last couple of days and the engagement process with the students. I understand that there were some conversations with regards to the MEC for safety, community safety and liaison. How did that go down?
So when the MEC arrived Tuesday, Blaine, he had a meeting with Inkosi Yakwamthethwa, traditional leadership in the area, as well as student representatives. We do understand that it was student representatives from various political formations that were represented there on behalf of the students. And in that meeting, the Inkosi did highlight that the root of this problem is the university not having enough accommodation of its own to accommodate the students that they intake every single year. So it is willing to release a portion of land where the university can build extra accommodation so that the students that live outside can be able to live in a place that is secured and protected by the university. The university, unfortunately, was not a part of that meeting with the MEC. And the MEC did say that even though they condemn the violent acts, they are hearing the grievances of the students. And the MEC did come back after the meeting had adjourned to come and give feedback to the students in terms of what they have decided. And this is after the 30 students were arrested, Blaine. So the students only wanted one thing from the MEC of Community and Safety, for him to tell them when are their peers being released from prison. But the MEC did tell them they are arrested because they were involved in this violent acts. Until they appear in court, only such then can they talk about that matter. But for now, they are hearing their grievances and they've come here to address them and give them an update in terms of the resolutions that have been made in that meeting. Inkosi agreeing to give them land, the university students agreeing that they will halt the protest for talks to start, because there's a lot of engagement that needs to happen. The Inkosi even committed himself to hosting an imbizo next week Wednesday, where off-campus resident landlords are invited to come and participate so that they can also share why are they not engaging with management in terms of refurbishing and improving the conditions at which the students live in on their property. Even though they were not available on Tuesday, the Inkosi has made them commit to attending the imbizo. Otherwise, the students have been advised not to pay their monthly rent if these landlords do not comply. So what we're expecting to hear from the minister is feedback from the university from what he's getting. Why haven't they fastened the process of making sure that they extend accommodation? The Inkosi has committed to giving more land. We will have to see whether the university has enough power to build more accommodation to further eradicate this safety and security problem, because it's a matter of them living outside that exposes them to such criminal activities. And we would like to hear from the minister in terms of the crime in this area. The residents that students live in are very crime-ridden, and the crime rates in the area are reportedly very high. In 2017 to now, it is reported, according to police reports, that the crime rates dampened or subsided. But what we're getting from the ground, from the students and the community, is that they no longer want to report their criminal cases to the police because, number one, the area does not have a substantive police station. The one that was burnt down is a satellite service center, so they don't have a structure that is a solid police station. So they no longer have confidence in the police, because a number of times many students who have fallen victim to the crime, whenever they go and report, sometimes they don't even get case numbers. So those are all the contents that we're going to get from the minister in terms of why is there lack of response from the police whenever students inquire or come to report cases. Where is the discommunication happening between the police, the students and university management? Because the students earlier on were also blaming university management, saying that all their plight is falling on deaf ears because the university just simply refuses to listen to them. And then we spoke to the university, and then they gave us their version of events and saying that they have been trying to resolve the issue, but the landlords were not coming to the fore. So those are all the things, Blaine, that we are going to get settled answers on once the minister is here.
Yeah, lots of questions and I guess lots of answers needed. Sbonga, thank you very much indeed for your reporting. Sbongakonke Mbatha, live for us from the University of Zululand. We're going to take a quick